So we are going to be teaching a settle, and one of the biggest problems with teaching a settle is that we've got this beautiful calm behaviour here from Dustin, and as soon as you get a treat out, you're going to add excitement and over arousal, and actually what I want to do is capture calm. So before we even start teaching a settle, all I want you to do is spend 4 to 7 days. It depends on the dog and what their training has been like before. If their training is very used to getting lots of treats all the time, then I tend to find the dogs will get really excited every time they see a treat and they think that training's going to happen. So they're not very good at just being relaxed. So to begin with, we're just going to sit with them. We're going to give them a treat, and then we're going to just be like, no more, and then carry on just relaxing. So that they start getting used to the fact that just because food is being offered, it doesn't mean we're going to have high arousal exercises. It doesn't mean that we're going to do anything. We're just capturing this beautiful calm. So they will eat the treat and then go back for being calm. So I've chosen a kind of slightly more long-lasting chew for Dustin as his first treat. I'm going to pop that under his nose and see what he thinks. Dustin. Doesn't have to be a slow treat. It can be just a bit of chicken, or especially if you're on certain diets and you've got to be careful. But we're just going to give the treat, and then we're going to carry on being calm. Hey baby. Dustin's used to this, so he probably won't ask for any more food now, because he knows he sometimes just gets given a treat. Ain't you, bud? Yeah. And then we carry on being calm, and hopefully Dustin will just go back to sleep. There we go. Nice calm Dustin. So yeah, do that for at least 4 days. See how you get on. See how your dogs react. We want them to be getting a treat and then relaxing like Dustin is. So that's our first bit of homework for teaching a settle. Okay, so once you have got to a situation where your dogs are not getting over aroused every time that they see food, and that, you know, sometimes a treat can just come one at a time. The treat's in my pocket. Then we can go on to teaching a settle on a mat. Now I'm going to use a mat. You want this to be something that you can take everywhere with you. You want it to be nice and soft, so if you're using it to get them to settle, you're a clever boy, aren't you? How can I not reward that? I'm going to reward that just because it's just lovely. There we go. You want something nice and soft that you can put maybe on top of bedding they already have in the house, or if you're training this and you want to teach them to settle on your bed, maybe, you know, wherever it is. You can also take it outside of the house. So this would probably be a bit too big, to be fair, but it's what I found lying around the house that I can use. So you want something that's easily packed, you know, you can pack in a backpack and take with you. And then when you ask for a settle, you get this this nice calm behavior, eh? And we don't want to settle to be about this constant looking for where the next treat is. We want a settle to really mean that this is a calm, relaxing time for us. But to begin with, we have to start with getting the dog to understand that when we put the mat down, what we want is for them to settle on that mat. So I'm going to just pop this mat out. You won't be able to see the mat, I don't think. And then I am going to I'm going to throw a piece of food away for Dustin, so he moves away. And then I'm going to pop just a treat on the mat for him, so he knows that that's where I want him to be. There we go. Oh boy. Now, it takes longer, but if we start to wait for behaviours that we like, he's a clever boy, then I tend to find that this works a lot better. Now, Dustin obviously knows we've done a lot of work around a settle. Dustin's been extreme with his resource guarding in the past, so a settle was something that I found very, very important, wasn't it? Eh? To be able to ask him to do, especially when our other dog Harry was around. So a settle to Dustin, you know, yes, he does get food, but it also means that, so that's, did you see the little lip licks? He was like, I actually would like the carrot, please. I don't want you to stroke me, which is fine. We will give the carrot in a minute. So to begin with, all we want to be doing is rewarding for any behaviours they show us around the mat. So if Dustin had come up and just, if this was new to us, so let me show you again. I'm going to throw the food away, so we're just resetting the behaviour. As Dustin comes back, if he was new to this, I would be rewarding for any engagement with the mat. So as he stood on the mat, I would just put a piece of food on the mat. Now, we want the food to be on the mat. It's a much calmer way of doing it than giving it to them from our hand. It also builds up association with this. And then over time, we wait for different behaviours. Now, Dustin goes into a reset settle because we've done lots of this work. I might try and do this with Matilda at some point. It's very difficult with our logistics in our house because I haven't done it with her. So you'll be able to see how to build on that. But this is basically how we're going to do it. We are just going to be resetting a behaviour by throwing food off of the mat. And then as they come back to the mat, we're going to be putting food down when they show us the behaviours that we like. Now, that can start off with a sit or a paw on the mat, and you've just got to be patient. If your dog looks really confused and they're kind of not going on the mat and they're getting frustrated, just throw the food away again. Yeah, should I throw the food away again? To reset them, and then wait for them to come back and engage with the mat again. Over time, they will start realising the behaviours that you want, which is this. And then when we have that, that's when we can start building in the fact that it isn't all about food, that there is a calmness to this as well. And actually, we're just going to sit and be together. And I'll go into that in the next video. So once we've got to the point where every time we put the mat out, that your dog comes over and lays on the mat, and we're putting a nice treat down for them. We then want to start extending this behaviour, and we need them to understand that there is a release cue. So at some point there's going to be no more food left. So I'm going to give Dustin all the food I have left in my pockets. And yes, I am giving him carrot. I know, he loves his food. He never used to like carrot, but over time he's built up to liking carrot. Good boy. Now, I don't really feel the need to put in a verbal cue. You can start bringing in a verbal cue as they go to the mat. You can just say settle. I have done that with Dustin. Dustin does know what settle means, because I like doing it without the mat as well. But if we're doing it just for the mat work, so that when we put the mat out, wherever we are, they know that it's calm behaviour. Now, my treats are over. He's pawing me, so I'm going to say, all gone. It's all gone. Now, we've learned over time that all gone means that there is no more treats, but we're gonna relax together anyway. So we need to build up that there's, once we say that it's all gone, no more treats continue to come, and actually we just start to enjoy each other's company. Now again, this can totally depend on the dog you have. It can take a long time to get to this point. It wasn't quick with Dustin, believe me. And he might not be in the mood to have touch, but I'm going to try and see if he does. So usually if I hand my... No, not in the mood. You're quite tired, aren't you? So Dustin, if I put my hand out, usually if he wants to be stroked, he will move towards my hand. We've done a lot of consent work, me and Dustin, because he's had lots of pain issues as he's grown up. So he needed to know that I only touch him when it's okay with him. So he knows if, and I'm going to try and bring the camera around. He's kind of just dozing and starting to fall asleep, which is absolutely fine. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to sit with him. Good boy, haven't you? Yeah. So then we can start just sitting and being together. I've got no more food, Bubba. Yeah, I've got no more food. I know, it's all gone, isn't it? Yeah, it has, it's all gone. You look so tired. Both go sleep? Yeah, should both go sleep. So sometimes just spending time with your dog, when they are settled like this, that's the reinforcement. That's all he needs, is that we spend, and I don't even have to touch him. Sometimes he just likes spending time with me. I'm surprised he hasn't got up on the sofa again, though, to be fair. He's like, I'm really tired, I want to get up on the sofa. Good boy. Yeah? No, I'm tired. You go sleep, baby.